Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Aquarius, we are going to utilize the energy of the dark and the light goddesses this week, literally using the Dark Goddess Oracle deck, and I'm going to use my Divine Goddess Oracle deck as well. We are going to ask them what your superpower is, what your kryptonite is, that's your full-on weakness, honey, your nemesis, it's tough, but it makes you stronger, and your next assignments in life. So, Aquarius, we're going to get started with the Dark Goddess Oracle deck. Aquarius, I don't know what you did, but you did it. So you have started, it looks like to me, well, if you haven't quite yet, you are about to. So I want to say, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. If it resonates with what I'm about to say in the rest of this reading. So, because you are on your way to a new beginning. I'll show you all the cards together, but so your superpower is a new beginning, and you have the World here. So as one of the 3 tarot cards that are sitting under your superpower. So you have literally, like, I want to say, completed a cycle. Now, to get to this cycle completion, there's a couple of things that I see here. One of the things that I see is you had to start looking beyond what was right in front of you. And when I say what was right in front of you, it could be like things or environments or people that you are familiar with. You had to kind of like move outside of that familiar confine. The other part of mastering, why did I want to say mastering? There's something here that, I don't know why. There was a card here that I felt like, well, they've mastered something. But okay, anyways, the other part that I feel like is connected with this is the best way to describe it. Before I show you the cards, because it's going to pull me off this track a little bit, is let's say you had a boss, or you had a parent, or you had even maybe like a past partner, or a sibling, or somebody who could have been perhaps like taking a leadership role in your life in some capacity, in some part of your life, okay? And you start to recognize patterns, you start to recognize things that aren't healthy, this is not right, and you sort of start making changes here in your life. And as you start making those changes, you seem to be going more and more into this sort of sovereign state outside of whatever that leadership role was. Now, what ends up happening, though, that I can see with these cards, is that you then start surpassing the leadership role that at some point was sort of like, I want to say, even trying to keep you down a little bit, or keep you from even perhaps recognizing the ability that you had within yourself to be able to make wise choices, to be a good leader in your life, to also see beyond maybe something that you have been fooled into believing was your limitation. And if you couldn't succeed within that limitation, then you're not going to succeed. So you've kind of removed the limitation from yourself as well. Okay, so I got that out. Look at that, how interesting this is. This is one of a few underlines that you have. But both the dark and the light goddess are like this very sovereign energy. Independence with Lilith and sovereignty with the Morrigan. So that's right. Like it's talking about that. Okay, so then I'm going to show you. Oh, this is the other thing. This has been happening now since Sagittarius. The entire Dark Goddess deck is all in the upright. So it's kind of like you've done it all. You've done it all. It's sort of like I hit something at Sagittarius, and now it's almost like the Dark Goddesses have been saying, yeah, you've done it all. This is all you're dealing with is what's on the table right now. So this underline, where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go here. This is how far. I actually decided to take quite a few. I didn't put them all in the photo because I thought, oh, that was too many. So control. Okay, what I'm about to talk to you about is something to do with this leadership energy that was kind of in your life at some point. Now, when I see the Emperor with this material success, the Six of Pentacles, look at the scowl on his face too. This guy is not happy that you, I want to say, okay, there's two ways I see this. There's some sort of energy here that would breadcrumb you to try to keep you feeling limited. Okay, like let's say if this was a work environment, then this is like your supervisor, your manager, your boss or whatever. This person would not give you all details about everything going on in the workspace because they wanted to always have an advantage over you because they felt threatened. Indirectly, right? Like this person felt threatened by you, so they would breadcrumb you to make sure that, well, you weren't going to get that promotion or you weren't going to apply for that because they knew that you would surpass them. There's something like about that here. Now, if it was a parent or an older sibling or a partner or anything like that, it's the same thing. This person didn't want you to succeed because it would make them feel less than. It's almost like this person saw the potential, but I don't know why. Like something's not right. You know, I mean, if you see the potential in people, I think usually if you're really healthy, you're like, man, you know what? You got more than I'll ever have. I'm impressed. What can I do to help you grow? You know, remember me when you're at the top. That's all you got to do. So yeah, that. And then, but now I see this is almost like you find yourself, I want to say maybe, because the Emperor now looks scowly. Like, oh, you're finding a way to have enough and give some too. So funny that. Okay, so then we go, okay, control, inspiration, loss. Right here, this feels like somebody who was trying to control again, but then there's like you have this inspiration and then they suffer a loss from it. I don't, if this is, if it's coming in through, really any of those archetypes that I kind of already said, you know, boss, older sibling, any sibling, even if it's a younger sibling, but you're always more mature and more responsible. A parent who has become, and I don't mean like a parent who's become elderly and obviously needs help with things. I mean like this is a parent who should still be quite capable of doing things for themselves, but they rely on you. Like they put the responsibility of parenting onto the child or something like that. Or like even a spouse or a partner where the relationship would have been more competitive. So they suffer this loss, right? Because they've tried to control, but you find some sort of inspiration. You sort of notice that there's maybe been some, you got to watch what you put into this cauldron, because if you're putting too many negative things in the cauldron, that's exactly what is going to be produced, negative things around you. So, you know, you kind of get wise onto something perhaps, and then there's loss. They suffer a loss. They become desperate. You have the desperation card. So because that comes out, yes. So they try to coerce you. I don't know what this is, but it's quite fascinating. There's coercion that is now instigated. They suffer loss. They become desperate about the loss. So then they try to coerce you. They can't. So then they become envious, which is to me at this point where the Emperor has the scowl. But look at this. I love this. This is now like you. I feel like this is you. You're coming in. Like you really only showed up here in the inspiration. And, you know, maybe I could even read this and say they were looking for ways, better ways to try to control you, but that ended up becoming a loss. It's almost like maybe pushing something too far. Yeah, I always like to say, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like government. If you make people too uncomfortable, they'll rise up. If you make them just a little bit, you know, you can introduce discomfort, and people will generally people will accept certain things that are taken away from them as long as they feel levels of security and comfort that are much more than what's being taken away, right? So, but the minute you start taking away too much, then you get them rising up. And this is just like through the history of humanity. And we're actually coming pretty close to a bit of that. It's getting a little bit, but there are 8 billion people fighting for resources on the planet right now. But anyway, so hubris and sovereignty. This is like you are so confident about your sovereignty. And I want to say, like, right, it's supported by having this Lilith at the underlying too. Because I want to say, because you've been through more than a couple of levels here of manipulation, control. Oh, loss, please don't go. No, don't. If it's like a boss or someone. I do want to say it would be almost as if this person would probably utilize your any inspiring ideas that you had and make them their own. And then, no, please don't go. Oh, I'll do anything. What will do? Oh, you know what? Well, I've got this. You know, you like that, and but it doesn't work. So then you actually, I want to say the last level here is envy, and envy is anything I want to say too, where you could even perhaps suffer spiritual attack through envy, because that just feels like where you would get evil eye coming through there. Oh, but look at, as I talk about evil eye, look at this covered in the spiders and the spider's eyes, almost like protecting yourself, and you have your sovereignty. I'm just going a mile a minute with this reading. The energy is so strong. Okay, this underline here, the one reason why I kind of like focus on the underline sometimes too is because the underlines to me are the reason we're here. It's what built you up to this point that you're at. Knowledge, liberation, revelation, flow, wise leadership, rebirth, focus, radical acceptance, and independence. I feel like this radical acceptance kind of comes in over here where I'm talking about, it's like you realize that you're judging your success or your possibility for something new through the confines of something that's kept you small. And it's like to look beyond that, because this deliverance and mastery is kind of like, oh, that's where the master, why do I feel like you've mastered something? But you haven't. This is your weakness, or this has been your weakness. But what's funny is you're actually starting to produce your wish fulfillment, because I feel like it's looking beyond where you see yourself. So if you've always felt like, I'll only ever be successful in this career type, or I'll only find what I'm looking for in this town or this state or province or neighborhood or anything like that, that like you're limiting yourself, because that is not the only place where there can be success. And you have the 8 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. I feel like it's like once you walk away, you're like, no, you know what? I'm not invested in that anymore. I don't care how much I've been convinced that I need to be invested in that. I'm looking beyond that. And then as soon as you do, you find what you're looking for. Your weakness, it's interesting. To me, it's almost coming up like, this is not a weakness that I don't think that you're not going to overcome. You're mastering your weakness. It kind of says that there. Oh yeah, so the radical acceptance. This is going against the grain. But it is, again, it just highlights to me that feeling of looking beyond what you've been convinced, or how you've been convinced, where you need to be, what your station is in life, where you need to work, or where you need to live, or anything like that. And then you find your independence here, right? So because you liberate yourself, things are revealed, you go with that flow, you continue to lead yourself wisely, you don't just leave it up to the universe, but you co-create with them, and then you have a new beginning, you have a rebirth, you focus on this, and da-da-da-da-da. So, okay, now let's look at this. Did I No, I didn't show you this yet. Prosperity and new beginnings, okay? The prosperity card is an interesting one. It does say that any of these dark goddesses, right? They're always kind of like a warning that goes with them. And the warning here is don't borrow too much money. There's always strings attached. Don't lend too much money. Just be like, I guess, very conservative with the big fat gray squirrel staring at me through the window. I could call Larry out on you. Well, he's okay on there. Just don't go up and chew my cords. It's if you are sensible, then you will have prosperity, right? So it's because it's linked to a new beginning. It feels like make sure the first steps in this make sense. Don't overextend yourself, whether you're like taking on loans or you're lending out money. Either way, like don't overextend yourself in that fashion. And then look, you get the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the World. But it's almost like it's like some sort of footing or foundation that you've been trying to create for yourself and coming up with ways to do that. You do with the World card. You're thinking outside of the box, Aquarius. Big outside of the box thinking here. And then, okay, I've already talked about this. This is with the kryptonite. Deliverance, mastering deliverance, and realizing that, well, I want to say that deliverance isn't where this was taking place for you. So the other way that could come through, like let's say it was a workspace. I just think it's easier to do that than get into the complications of people's families because it's just so kind of cut and dry, but you can apply it that way if it is family, okay? But so let's say it's a workspace, and that's what I've already kind of explained is something that went on for you with a superior in some way. That superior moves on, or you take that superior's position, okay? But you don't take their position because the higher ups realize that there was a lot of like coercion and really unhealthy things going on in the work dynamic. You just did. You surpassed. They either moved on or whatever happened. But then it's like you're in that space. So now you're in that space. But then you almost start to recognize, you know what? Leadership comes from the top. And whatever I was dealing with before, I was dealing with that because that person was dealing with this up here. You know, and then you realize you've now become whatever that was that you were kind of working against at some point. Because so where I'm going with this is like, well, now, because whatever it is that you were trying to find for yourself, some sort of new beginning, it's not where you find yourself. It's beyond that. It's like saying, okay, I need to look beyond this. I need to look beyond this. And then that's when you find it. So your nemesis is the thing that actually makes you stronger. Oh, abandonment and forgiveness. I feel like abandonment might even have something to do with like old plans from the past, old habits from the past. It's about developing a thicker skin. Let bygones be bygones, which is sort of interesting with the forgiveness card as well. And here is this. This is like, oh, yeah. This is exactly what I just sort of described in terms of when you end up in that position and you're thinking, oh, wait a second, nothing is any better. Now I'm the one rolling more shit downhill because what happens here? And again, it doesn't have to be work, but it could be like through a family dynamic, anything. So the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Devil. This is the place of the devil. This is almost like this is realizing that whatever this is, this is not healthy. This is not healthy here. And you just have to develop a thicker skin and move on. That's kind of how that comes out. But it's your nemesis. So I want to say it is even possibly something that takes a while to learn. Okay. So your next assignment is determination for your new beginning. You've got determination and devotion. I like it, but look at these tarot cards. You have the Five of Wands, the Death card, and Judgment. Putting away the strife. This card is called Strife. I love that now. It's my new name for all the Five of Wands out there. the ending, and look right into a rebirth of new beginning. I've been getting like a lot of different things with rebirths lately. It's like Death card, Ten of Swords. Oh, that's like coming out of the gates and falling flat on your face. This is our Death card, Four of Pentacles. Coming out of the gate and the horse has no fuel. Just like sitting there on the horse. This is coming out of the gate and you are charging, like charging ahead here. But you need to be determined and devoted to whatever this is. Well, that's determination. Let's clarify that. Determination. Actually, let me just look in the book here. Let's double check that one. Oh, a life-changing offer is imminent. You will be forced to choose between two people. I want to say it could be two people. I don't really see like choices of people here. I just see like you coming to realization. So I want to say that this is like, be devoted to having choices in the future. Oh, look at a promotion or job change presents itself. A local political career beckons. Well, that's interesting. Take charge of a domestic situation. So see how this could be like a lot of different things. Invitations will come thick and fast. Plan well and you can make the most of them all. So I don't know like where you're going to go, what you're going to do, or what area of your life this is. Like even this says there's a lot of different things it could be. But it honestly feels like it's the right energy. There's a lot of momentum and growth behind it and devotion to this. So determination and devotion. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. This long-term plan, if you're just starting the long-term plan, it's going to get you, it's going to get the success. It's going to get you that new beginning. If you've been on the long-term plan for a while, you're approaching your new beginning. I want to say because it's your next assignment and you have judgment. I want to also say that it's kind of like your call because it says you'll have choices. Strife, the Five of Wands. The Five of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Oh, well, it's cutting out work. Cutting out, you know what? But it's cutting out, I want to say you cut out the strife because then it's followed with the mastery, which is what you're working on in a weakness here. And the Three of Cups, like celebrating and coming together. Having a good time, having a reason to rejoice. The Death card. The Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. This honestly just feels like full empowerment. Fully empowered and feeling really good about it, Aquarius. Yeah, this is honestly, though, it's like you had to come out from underneath the thumb of something or someone or someplace. And Judgment. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. This is the thing that you've been, like, I don't know, whatever this represents, that you've been trying to plan and the plan comes, that's it. It's finalized. You're done. I don't know. It's just exciting. It's just like exciting. This energy is really, really exciting. But this is like, clearly this is the devil. This has been your nemesis to clearly see that this is the devil. This, oh, wealth. Okay, I just noticed that. This Ten of Pentacles is called wealth. So there could be like something where the only thing that seems important is wealth. Is like physical, monetary wealth. So the Ten of Pentacles. The Hanged Man, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Wow. There's like kind of, if you're, I don't know if this is like a place. It's got to be. It's the Ten of Pentacles. But it feels like it's soul association is wealth. Maybe displaying wealth. Because when you really look at it closely, if there's any emotion at all, it's been removed. This is something that there's no emotion. People are not invested emotionally here. But it's like, will you abandon it? The Ace of Swords becomes clear. The Emperor. I told you, it's like the Emperor somehow. It's like something that was under, you were under the thumb of this. And then the Devil. The Two of Swords. Actually, this flipped first. Look at this. Look at this. The Ten of Wands and the Moon. This is the kind of energy that will confuse you, that will lay heaviness on you, will make life seem impossible to move forward, move beyond, like whatever this is, this confine. Illusions. Wow. Look, the Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. The King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Two of Cups. Well, it's seeing shit clearly. It's cutting stuff out. I want to say the King of Pentacles could even represent, you know, this Ten of Pentacles. And cutting it out and seeing clearly, seeing what matters with the Two of Cups, right? Like you see what matters. Boy, that's exciting. I'm going to go to the extended, Aquarius. In the extended, I'm going to use the Witch's Oracle deck. I'm going to get you an incantation. I'm going to use the Energy Oracle deck and the Steampunk Tarot. I was actually using the Heaven and Earth Tarot in this part of the reading, but I'll use Steampunk in the extended. We're going to ask, what from your past still pulls on you? What in your future is trying to push you forward? How this push and pull affects you, and then how you can allow all things to flow freely. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.